The Softears Twilight. Let's talk about it. This is a loan sent for me from a friend from Hi-Fi Guides. I sincerely appreciate any people that send me loans. I've had a few people, not even just reviewers, send me stuff, and I just want to say it's just really awesome to be able to experience expensive, nice IEMs that I normally wouldn't be able to buy. It's it's kind of tough, so it's much appreciated, and thank you to everyone who's willing to send me stuff. This is a single dynamic driver IEM that costs $930. It is a very interesting product. It came out about a year and a half ago, right around November 2022. Again, it's a very interesting product, and it's a very nice IEM. Let's talk about the build quality of this IEM. This is a very interesting IEM. Like, looking at it, it's kind of weird. I haven't really seen an IEM like this, but it's tiny. It kind of has this nice little groove box shape to it. Its nozzle is small and it fits in my ear very well. It just has a nice, simple fit. It's metallic. It has strong build quality. And I like it a lot. Again, it's not something I normally would be like, oh yeah, this looks great and it's comfortable. But in ear, it's absolutely fantastic. These grooves that I'm kind of pointing out, like these, they're really smooth and simple and silky. It just fits in ear well. It looks well. It has strong build quality. And again, the shells, it does have that recessed 2-pin connector, which, you know, can be problematic for switching, but overall, this is just really strong. The cable has a unique feature. It has its own little 4.4 to 3.5 connector that comes with it and matches the IEM, and it looks beautiful. And so that's a nice little feature. It is a nice silky black cable. It just looks good. I like the little red hook here so you can tell what is right and left. I mean, it's not a fancy cable. It's nothing too amazing, but it sits well. It looks good. I mean, it has a nice little pretty Y split, and you know, it terminates in a 4.4 for those people that need it. And just overall, I think this is a fantastic cable. And you can see here, you know, it lays flat. Let's try it here. Ta-da! It's just really nice. I love this cable. High quality product, and it's a unique feature. This is a funny IEM. Just looking at this IEM, I would be like, or the graph of this IEM, I would say, oh yeah, I'm gonna hate this. But I always try to listen to stuff before I evaluate. I always try to take a moment and really listen. And this IEM is just absolutely phenomenal. It has a lot of great qualities. It's like one of my favorite IEMs, and I was floored by looking at the graph as to how it sits in ear and just how it feels. It's just phenomenal, and I love it. Let's start by talking about some of the graphs, but overall its characteristic is rich, beautiful, crispy upper mids, great resolution, great sound stage. The imaging and placement of the instruments around your head is just absolutely world class. So let's look at some graphs. All right, the Softears Twilight. Let's look at this graph, and it is a very nice graph. It looks good, but it does lack a lot of bass compared to what I normally would want. It does kind of have this gentle rise through the lower mids. And so, you know, when I looked at this graph originally, I was thought, you know, I don't know about it. But I wanted to compare this to a few other IEMs, and I was just absolutely flabbergasted at this IEM, and I think it's really strong and a lot of fun. Let's look at another IEM from the same company, the Softears RSV. Now, I reviewed this on channel before, and I really like this IEM. To me, I kind of think I might want to recommend the Softears RSV just because it has a little bit better bass. It has a little bit more gradual approach to mids, but there is something about those dynamic drivers. It is a fantastic experience, and I would highly suggest you guys to try both of these. The Twilight does have kind of a unique fit. It is a little bit chunkier, and so it's not exactly perfect, but some, you know, it's definitely interesting. Another one I want to compare this to is something like the Noir. I think the Noir is a lot more of a balanced sound. I think the Twilight is like this amazing, fantastical set. It's punchy, it's beautiful, it's unique, but it kind of has this, this almost tube-like crazy experience where the Elysian Effect, Elysian Acoustic Lab is just polite. It's like a gentleman butler who just gives you the music in an appropriate way. You're like, okay, I have no problem with that. Whereas the Twilight, it's just fun. It's just engaging. The upper mids and air and the stuff off the graph off the Twilight are just exceptional. It just has really great things about that IEM, and it's a really fun experience that I fully recommend. Another one I kind of want to recommend this to is like something like maybe the Cadenza. I wasn't a huge fan of the Cadenza, but for some reason, like looking at these graphs, and it kind of has this aria style, gentle approach to upper mids, and I wouldn't think I would like it, but again, this Twilight, man, there's something about it. It blew me away, and I absolutely adore it. Like, I thought the Cadenza was just kind of polite and boring, but I think the Twilight is just it's amazing. It's fun. It's unique. It's special. It's something that I think you guys should definitely throw on your demo list. It's definitely, spoiler alert, it's definitely an A-class material IEM. It's a unique experience, and I love it a great deal. You look at it versus other IEMs, like something like the Aurora. I think they kind of had this similar base level, maybe a little bit. Let's normalize this at a better, more clear point. Like, these pretty much have the same base, but the Twilight has that just way less shouty, way less peaky upper mids. It's just smoother. I think it's just by far a better IEM. And the Twilight, to me, despite having that bass, it is just so fantastic. Another one I want to kind of compare this to is it reminds me quite a bit of the Monarch. I think they kind of trade blows. I think the Monarch probably would get my recommendation, but the Monarch falls into that reign of almost slightly boring, not super engaging, but a solid set nonetheless. So as far as the Softears Twilight goes, I think it's just a fantastic sounding set. I think the tuning of it is just a little bit wonky for my taste, and that's kind of what it kind of took the biggest hit on. I like this IEM, but it's expensive. If someone offered me a Twilight, or I found one in a couple years for like $300 to $400, I would definitely buy it. Like, if you ever have the chance to demo the Softears Twilight, it is a special set, and I can't really talk about it so much. There's something about those DD IEMs that are just so fantastic. It's so enjoyable. It's a lot of fun. It just doesn't quite have the bass notes for me going on. I know you guys have given me some crap lately about being a bass head, and I guess maybe I am. But also the mids are like the most important part of a set in some ways. And the Twilight has some of the best mids I've ever had, and it's just so satisfying. Such a good set, such a unique fit, and a beautiful, amazing IEM. This IEM is so unique. It's so special. It's like this cubicle little cutie IEM with this beautiful cable and with a great fit. It has a lot of great things going on for it, but for me, I prefer an IEM with just a little bit more bass. I feel like strings can come across harsh and kind of overly lush. If you EQ this IEM, it sounds amazing, but you can say that about a lot of IEMs. Like my favorite song, Kill Joe. Well, it just sounds like it lacks bite and snap. It feels a little bit too airy and too sweet, and it doesn't really feel great. Cymbals come across very sharp and shiny. Vocals are extremely fun and extremely strong, but they do feel like they lack that bite, that crunch, that really what I would want in an IEM. It's a special set. It's a really good IEM, but that bass shelf not being there makes it something that, like, for me, I would recommend a demo. But for people that like don't really need a huge bass shelf. Like, I know some reviewers and some people that are kind of like, ooh, you know, bass isn't for me. This could be one of the greatest IEMs I've ever heard as far as vocals go. I can't tell you how much I love this IEM. But again, it's, you know, $930. It's blown me away. But at the same time, it's expensive. But again, if you could find this IEM for maybe a cheaper cost or cheaper price, or you're not super sensitive like I am about bass, this is a fantastic set. I really dig it, and I encourage you guys to check it out sometime. Thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below. You're still here. It's over. Go home. Go watch another IEM video. It's done. That's the entire video. What more do you want?